Hey guys, B-Man here. Welcome to today's video. Today we've got an awesome one for you guys. What we have is the camo swap. So we've got many different ways in this video that you guys can camo swap for you. So you guys know the deal. Get down there if you haven't already. Smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me an awesome comment and we'll have a quick word with today's sponsor and then we're just going to get straight into this, guys. If you want to unlock Dark Matter, Abyss and Nebula camos in Black Ops 6 or grind them extremely quickly in bot lobbies, be sure to check out MitchCactus. They're the biggest and most reliable in Call of Duty, which will help you with weekly events and rare bundle codes for Xbox, PlayStation and PC. Browse their 1500 verified Trustpilot reviews and thousands of personalized vouchers. They're the go for all your things Call of Duty. Use code BMAN for 5% off, and thanks MitchCactus for sponsoring today's video. Okay, for this you need to be in your friend's lobby. Your buddy needs to be host. All that they need to be doing, I'll show you what their screen, so that what they need to do first, so you know what they're doing, and so if they're watching this too, they know what they need to do. When you join your lobby, all that they need to do is go into private match, create private match, but right here, and hover on this screen, waiting for you to be ready. Then, when you give them the go, and that's the code, wait, go in, start connecting, all they do is they sit on this screen right here. This is the connecting screen you're talking about. And then all they do is cancel that connecting before it connects. That is their job. So they don't want it to actually connect, because if it actually connects, you won't be able to do it. So your bracket to be able to pull off what you need to pull off is just that small window of it taking to connect. Now sometimes you can have a bugged out connections and it can take a longer time to connect, so you can get a bigger bracket, but then other people can connect really fast and your bracket's going to be really small. So this is the bracket right here, and then you just say cancel. And that's all that they're doing, and while they are sitting on this screen here, what you equipped is actually not equipped into your online class. So that is how we're able to, while we're on that screen, we're able to go and equip the gun, because it actually equips it into our private match class, and then quickly get to the camo screen, and then they cancel it, pull us out of being online, and then we're able to equip the camo to our gun that's online. So it's that simple. Let's go in and show you exactly that. Okay, now we're in our buddy's lobby and our buddy is just ready to go to that connecting screen. We want to put a Modern Warfare event camo onto our AMAX. To do that, we have our AMAX in our class. Then all we do is go to find that weapon that will have the camo we're trying to do. So for us, it's just a Modern Warfare weapon. Any weapon, it does not matter. Then what you need to do is this line that you see us hovering on and selecting on now is the line that you need to be on. Don't be in on the weapons. So we want to start from here. So what we need to do is go to select this gun, go into the camo screen, and once we get to the camo screen, they need to cancel connecting in time before it connects. So let's do that right now. So they connect, we come in, press X, come to the camo screen, come across and go in, and then they cancel it. And just like that, now they've cancelled connecting, and when we touch another camo, it's going to actually show you the camo it's going to equip. So now it's going to actually be equipping these camos to the AMAX. So now we can go along and we can find the camo that we want. Now some camos may not actually work, but other camos do. So we can go along and we can equip this camo here onto the AMAX, back out of the class now, and now we have the AMAX with that camo equipped. Simple as, easy as, and also it will save like that and all for you. So now we have the ghoulie camo that we can run, and because you're doing camo swapping of camos you own, you'll have no trouble running the camo in game. So you'll be able to run those camos and everything, guys. It's just that simple. Simple as, easy as. Smash that like button and let's just get straight into the next one. Now this camo swap is even easier, guys. This one here, it works in all of Black Ops 6, just doesn't work in Warzone. So say we've got this gun right here, right, and we do not have gold on this gun. We want to camo swap gold onto this gun, or even maybe opal. So let's show you how to do that. From this screen right here, we just go to the challenges screen, we come to the camos, and then we find the gun that that has the camo on it that we're trying to equip. So for us, we can go to our shotgun, because on my shotguns I have opal. We can equip that, we can just press select that gun like that. Then as you see, it goes to the camos of that weapon. We can go along and we can just equip the camo. It's that simple and that easy to camo swap in multiplayer at Black Ops 6 and Zombies, guys. It's easy, it's simple as, it's easy as, and now we have this with the camo on it saved, and we can use that without any issues as well, because we have those camos, we own those camos unlocked on at least something on our profile. Simple as, easy as, guys. Now just remember, when you're in Black Ops 6, the Modern Warfare camos will not show up on guns when you're in Modern Warfare 6. Those camos only show in Warzone. Now we're on to the duplication method. This works in all modes. We're just going to show it off working in Warzone for a melee weapon, but it will work for everything. So for this one, come to Black Ops 6. Come along to multiplayer and duplicate a weapon 2 times. Any weapon, it does not matter. Just like you see here, equip the first duplicate into your online class and equip the second duplicate into your private match class, just like you see us doing right here. And then after you've done that, go into zombies mode. Once you're in zombies mode, you want to find those 2 duplicates and delete those 2 duplicates. Once you've deleted those 2 duplicates in zombies mode, you want to go back into multiplayer, private match, and you want to make a change to your blueprint there. So come along to the duplicate that you equipped there just before, go along and just equip an optic on it. Now go along and you will see that equipping that optic did not save it as a blueprint with an optic. You have now broken the account. At this point, you can choose what mode you take the next step into. So whatever mode you want the camo swaps for has the weapons that you're trying to camo swap to, choose that mode. So for this video, I'm going to choose Warzone. So we go over into Warzone mode to complete the steps. Now in Warzone mode, we go along, and because I want to put a camo and save a camo on a melee weapon, I choose to do it with the melee weapon. So we go and find a gun that has a camo on it that we're trying to swap onto our melee weapon. So for this, we're going to camo swap the gun with the camo that we've just swapped a second ago. So we find that gun, we say duplicate 2 times. You'll notice the second and third time you say duplicate, it just will not create more. You're in the broken state. What's happening is now it's pulling everything off that blueprint that you're duplicating, including the camo. So you can go along at this point and you can choose any weapon that has a camo on it that you want to duplicate and copy and swap onto another one. So if we want Borealis, we can duplicate that. Then you come across to the weapon, the melee weapon in this case, and you just say create new. Now only do one weapon at a time. It's so much easier for you, and you can guarantee you'll be able to control it this way. So as you see here, we have Borealis on this melee weapon. Soon as we've got that, we can just back out. And once we've backed out, that's it. It has now saved that for us. We don't even have to worry about trying to save it. All that you need to do now is go back in, find that weapon that it just saved. You want to say a duplicate on it, and you want to go along and name it your cool new gun, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Name it, and now you will have that forever. This one here may get lost when you duplicate something else in the future, but this one here will not, and you'll saved it forever. Go along and do that to your other weapons, and this is a way that you can camo swap between modes and everything with camos that you do not own. So if it's a camo you don't own, like here, I just camo swapped over Borealis, I'm able to camo swap over camos I do not own. Okay, now we'll show you the Dragon's Breath rounds camo swap method. Now this one is only for people who have blueprints with Dragon's Breath rounds on their guns. What you need to do, the Dragon's Breath has been removed from the game, so if you try and equip it and you go across to the Dragon's Breath ammunition, it's not here, you cannot equip it. This is why this glitch works, okay? But if you have a blueprint with that rounds already on it, you're able to do this glitch with this camo swap. What you do is you save that blueprint with the camos on it that you're trying to swap over, like you see here, but you need multiple blueprints with different camos for this. So as you see here, I have this one here and I have all these different camos on it. I'm able to swap these camos over onto any other gun in game. So let's load in game and show you that. So for this, I'm going to equip the camo and camo swap over onto this Black Ops 6 basic gun. It's not even going to be a blueprint. So we'll load in game and I'll show you guys when we get in game. This is an in-game camo swap, but it sticks for after game as well. Okay, so we've loaded in game and we're going to select the class. This gun does not have any camo on it just yet, but we're going to quickly swap it on. So as you see here, all we do is we go into our loadout and we select that shotgun with the Dragon's Breath on it and the camos. Now the first time it's not going to keep that gun out. As you see just there, we back out of our loadouts to here and then we come back in. But when we select the second one that has a camo on it with the Dragon's Breath round as well, it actually just applies the camo to our gun, guys. It's just that simple. We can now leave game and we have that camo on our gun applied. It's just that simple. We've just camo swapped. Simple as, easy as, we can go along and we could save that gun with that camo on it. Now we've got a Modern Warfare 2 event camo swapped over onto our Black Ops 6 gun, guys. It's as simple as that. As long as you have access to the Dragon's Breath rounds, you can camo swap quite easily using the shotguns and the camos that you've got on those shotguns. Simple as, easy as. Okay, so log into the game with the profile you're trying to duplicate to. Now, when you very first log into the game and come into zombies, if it double logs into zombies, you'll just have to restart your console and stuff like that. Also, if you can't just go into ranked play and play ranked because when you normally can, that's another sign that you won't be able to do this. So you need to get it so that there's not the double login. But I'm pretty sure at this point I shouldn't need to explain all of that stuff. But if you come into here and it doesn't just come into here nicely like it did just then and then it logs into this point, if it happens to you, you'll know, then it won't work for you. Restart your whole console and get it to where it's not. Now, once you've got player 1 in properly without that happening, you can come across and you need to set it up to receive the dupe. So what you want to do is you want to go along, you need to equip any weapon, go along and equip the weapon, but once you've equipped it, it will have a tick here like this. Then you need to delete that weapon so that you've got the gun equipped but you don't have a gun ticked here. Now, if you don't have a gun that you want to delete, you can just go along, say create new on a gun, then you come along and you delete that, right? So now we've got the gun equipped in our class, but it is not selected in this line here. That is how we know that this is going to take on the dupe from the other account. After you've set that up, you can do the same for the melees as well if you want to dupe melee weapons. This works for melees as well. So what you want to do is if you are trying to duplicate a variant and you want to pull variants at the same time as this, but we're not going to go too much into that, you want to make sure that you, the receiver, has a blueprint into here. So what you would do is you would say create new on a blueprint. Now the blueprint that you put here decides the variant of the gun that gets pulled of what player 2 is giving you, okay? So what you do here is if I am to pull a blueprint of another gun, I could go along and equip this here, but I need to make sure that after I've said create new, I come along and delete it from here so it's not in this line. I have the gun equipped, but it's not in that line. So now you guys know how to do the setup. Let's go along and bring player 2 in and do the duplication process. So player 2 comes in. They are an account that has the camo that we're trying to dupe over. And this, we're duping camos. So they come in as player 2, controller 2. With player 1, controller 1, you want to go to the weapon tab each time here. Now, with player 2, you set up and choose the gun that you want to equip. So it chooses the gun, not the variant. It chooses the gun, the attachments, and the camos, charms, etc. that's going to come on the player 1's weapon. So player 2 can come along to here and they can equip a weapon. So if they want this camo here on if player 1 wants a camo, this camo, they can come along and they can go along and set any gun up with any camo they like. So this one here can come along and have dark matter in this gun here. They could have, if they had it unlocked, go along and put attachments on the gun and charms, etc. And that's what will come with this, with player 1's gun. So player 2 is going to set up the gun, which is the GPR 91. It's going to choose the camo, which is going to be dark matter, and an attachment that's going to be this scope here is chosen. Player 1 is choosing the variant that's going to get pulled of that gun. So now that that's set up, player 2 has the gun chosen in their class with the camo on it, and player 1 has the gun variant. Now player 1 backs out to this screen right here. Player 2 on controller 2 goes in from this screen here. That step is very important that you do it in that way. Then player 1 can come over to their loadout screen and you will see they now have a variant of player 2's weapon with their attachment on it, with their camos on it, and everything. Now, if it's not a variant, it's just the fact that this did not hit a variant. Now, you can have options here. You can go along and you can just make a change to this, and now we save that as our gun. We've now just pulled the camos over from the other account and onto this gun. Now, if you notice, I'm also camo swapping on the other account. Why am using the broken accounts, double duplication, equipped in multiplayer, equipped in private match, then go into zombies and delete it, and then go back into private match and equip one attachment. Then at that point you stop on that profile, and then as player 2 you go along, and when you bring that profile in as player 2 you say duplicate on a gun. And that's how you can have player 2 permanently broken, so that now this player 2 can just go along and grab any camo I want to put onto something, and it can choose what gun I selected on. So I can say duplicate on Nebula, then I could just go along to any gun, say create new on that gun. I can give that gun there, then as player 2, then player 1 can back out, player 2 can go in, and now player 1 is going to have Nebula on their gun. And just like that, guys. Now, player 2 here, if you see it's not pulling a variant, we can simply, as player 2, go along and choose the variant. This is why I talked about they choosing the variant. So we can go along and mix, so we can have wild mannered. So we go along and equip this. We back out and we need to delete it so it's not ticked. Now we have that done. We can back right out and have player 2 come in. Then when we go to our loadout, we've now pulled a variant and chosen a variant of this with player 2's camo on it and attachments on it and charms, etc. So this is how you can do everything. But over on player 2 has just mixed the duplicating of 2 guns that I showed you just earlier in this video. They're just mixing that, and when you do that as player 2 stays broken as long as it's player 2. So it's a really cool glitch to be able to combine with dupes, and then you can just go along and you can do dupes over dupes over dupes over dupes. So in this video, you guys got so much different ways to camo swap and everything, and now that you know how to put camos you do not own from other accounts, let's get over back into Warzone and multiplayer and show you guys how to run those camos you don't don't own, and we're going to show you how to use those camos you don't own to camo swap to other guns as well. Okay, for this next one, I'm going to show you guys how to run camos you do not own and how to camo swap camos that do not wipe. Now, for this, you need to have a gun that you have the camos on. That gun, those camos need to all be on the base variant, so it cannot be a variant of the gun. It needs to be the base gun. Then on top of that, they need to be on the base gun with no attachments, like you see just here. Then as well, you need a second copy of the gun, but this variant needs to have one attachment, and this needs to have the camo on it that will not wipe, that you're trying to camo swap over, because this camo will remain on the gun at the end of the game when you come back to the menus. If the gun that has an attachment on it has a camo that wipes, it just won't be there at the end of the game. If you want to camo swap a camo that sticks at the end of the game onto your gun and have a camo on that gun at the end of the game, you need to have the gun that has the attachment on it to be the one with the camo that does not wipe. The first one you swap to needs to be the gun with the camo that does wipe. Then you need to swap to the one that has the one attachment on it, and then you need to swap back to this one here. This one here, after the game, if you edit the blueprint of the gun that you've swapped to, will actually delete this and replace it on the other gun. So you need to make sure you've got multiple copies of this one right here if you're doing this, because it will use up these ones and they will disappear. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. Now you know all the details of this one, let's get in and show you it in action. Now, if you're fast, which you don't need to be fast, this is easy, you've got plenty of time, you're able to do this in the pre-lobby of actual Battle Royale and everything. I just take note, I'm doing it a lot slower just to be able to explain it as I'm going. But this is a lot faster than it appears right here. So what you do is you select your loadout. Then you hover in the air, you come along, and we go along and we find the gun that has the camo we're not able to equipped and no attachment on it. We equip that and we back out to this screen. We go back in and then we equip the one with the camo that we're going to try and swap to that has the attachment on it, right? We back out, then we come in, and then we go along and equip the one with the other camo we just equipped before, the camo we're not allowed. We're now able to run that. Now that will spawn in game. But now that we've got that point done, we're able to go along and equip and run our Dragon's Breath rounds. So now we can come along to here and we can equip our shotgun with our Dragon's Breath rounds, and it will just spawn in game. Simple as, easy as, but now that we don't want that one, we actually want the Nuke Glow one. And now we can have our Dragon's Breath rounds with our Nuke Glow Modern Warfare 2 camo that we're not meant to be able to run either, working as our secondary, and we have the camo that we're not meant to be able to run as well on our primary on a blueprint. Now you have to make sure that you're using a blueprint as in your class to start with for this to work. If you're trying to camo do that the whole step without it being a blueprint that you're doing this with, then this will not work for you. So make sure that you're trying to put the camo onto a blueprint. As you see here, my AMAX is a blueprint. So when we load down, you're going to see we have exactly that stuff still. It doesn't just wipe after as well. So here's the AMAX with the Borealis on it, and here is our Nuke Glow with our Dragon's Breath working in game and everything, guys. It's all working, simple as, easy as. And now when we get out of match, it's not going to have an AMAX with Borealis on it. What's going to happen is it's going to have the camo that this one has on it, okay? Because that one is the one that sticks. So we're going to leave the game now and you'll see exactly that. Now, if we choose to save this, it will wipe out our Borealis blueprint that we pulled with, right? See, it's named Borealis, but it has the Mercury camo on it. So at this point, if we didn't want to lose the Borealis duplicate, we could just go along and we could just say duplicate on it. And then when it takes one away, we've still got a copy of it. So now we can go along to this, we can come to this thing here, and as you see, this says it's got 6 attachments out of 5 now. We've also attachment swapped over the attachment that was on this gun right here, which is, I don't even know what attachment that is. Let's have a look. XM43 burst round mod is actually sitting on our AMAX right now. So you can attachment swap and everything as well. And that is how I have right here, I have guns like this here. We have the AMR9, but I've actually tracer swapped over and camo swapped over the 5.56 ammunition. See, this is meant to be shooting 9mm, and it's not meant to be able to shoot the 5.56, but I've got it shooting 5.56 with the double barrel gun with the 50 round mag, and that 5.56 is off, I think it's off my Tempest Razorback, this gun right here. So this is the gun that I've pulled the 5.56 ammunition on. But you can use that glitch to do all of that stuff, but unfortunately for you guys, this video right here, I'm not focusing into all the attachment swapping stuff. I'm trying to keep this just to the camos, so I'm going to be ending the video with me showing you guys how to do this stuff just over in multiplayer. We'll show you guys how to run the camos over in multiplayer. Now, before we get into multiplayer, I'll just cover this, that you can actually use all of the pulled blueprints that you pull in zombies and the other modes with all of these glitches. You can actually run and use the locked blueprints without any troubles in ranked play. So you ranked play people, if you guys want to just go along and pull the top 250 blueprint, and then you can just run it in ranked play without any issues. It won't wipe out of your class and things like that. It's simple as, easy as. So with that said, let's get over and show you guys how to use all these things. I personally can't find ranked play matches, so I'm not even going to bother trying to load into a game to show you guys stuff over there. But I'm going to come over here and I'll show you guys, finish the video off showing you guys how to run dark matter and locked camos, etc. in multiplayer. So we're going to run lightning gold, nebula, and dark matter, etc. As you see here, if we try and equip it, this profile's not got it unlocked, so if we come along, it just wipes it out. Let's load in game and show you how to do this. For this one, you have to be doing it with blueprints. This will not work for the base guns. You will not be able to run the camos that you do not own between deaths and over deaths throughout the whole game unless you're doing it on a blueprint. So make sure that the gun you're trying to run the camo on is a blueprint. We're going to be using this blueprint right here. I'll see you in game. Okay guys, while recording this, I realized there's been a change since my recent video on how to use these camos in multiplayer. It turns out now that you're not going to be able to just use them between deaths over the whole game. You actually have to do an extra step to be able to use them. So what that's going to involve is you're going to have multiple two different camos to swap between each time you die, because when you die it's going to reset off, but you can quickly just select the other one and you can run it the other camo. So if you're somebody that has multiple camos you don't own, you're trying to run, you can swap between them between each death, but you're not going to be able to just have one camo show up on your gun between deaths all game long in multiplayer at this point. Sorry guys, while I'm recording this tutorial I just realized there's been a change in the multiplayer, but we'll get you just running your camos for now, and maybe, hopefully, in Season 2 Reloaded, I'll have you guys a new way to be able to do it for the whole game. But this one will keep you guys using your camos for now, so we'll jump a game and we'll show you this one. Okay. We've loaded into game and we've got our class here. We select our class. Then we go along and as you see it's got the blueprint. So we're doing it with the blueprint. We go along and we select the gun that has the camo on it that we're trying to use that would wipe off. Then we go back in to that same class and then we select the other gun that has the one attachment on it. That's the camo that is able to stick throughout the whole thing. If you're trying to camo swap, you can just run camo swapped guns. Now we go back in and we go and swap to the camo that we're trying to run, nebula, and then when we die our gun is going to have our blueprint we started with is going to have Nebula on it. We can run Nebula on this blueprint. Now, if we die, Nebula will no longer be on this blueprint. It will have no camo. But to have it have a camo, we can just go along and we can select our other blueprint that has LG, Lightning Gold. So we come in now and we can select this one. Now when we spawn with this camo. So you can, between deaths, you can just go like that, and now we can go along and we can swap between the guns with the different camos between deaths. And it's pretty cool, almost makes it a new interesting way to play the game. You have a different camo every death, guys. It's pretty cool, pretty awesome, but obviously for some people that sort of extra thing you have to do could get annoying, and it will make it so it's not worth doing. But for other people, it is still worth doing. So with that said, guys, that completes today's video. You can even get out there and you can use your camos in multiplayer as well. You can use your stuff in zombies, you can do stuff in Warzone and everything, guys. And when Season 2 Reloaded drops, you guys know I'll have you guys covered with all the stuff for then too. So make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, and tell the YouTube algorithms that you love this sort of content so they notify you when we upload more. Keep being awesome, and I'll catch you in the next one. B-Man